Okay, this is number 18, and this might take me 2 videos also to get through. Try to do a little bit. I started by figuring out the total population, which was 19,600, and then I figured out the standard divisor because they were apportioning 500 representatives up there in orange. And they want you to use both the Jefferson and the Adams methods to determine which method violates the quota rule in the scenario below and explain how the quota rule is not satisfied. So remember, you have to find the standard divisor first, and then you're going to figure out the standard quotas. And you have to take when I'm on, let's do an A here. A's population is 1,300, so there it is in the numerator. The 1,300 right here, that's A. And then you're going to divide that by your standard divisor. And you do everything. The next one, B, is 2,400 divided by 39.2. And I ran out of room. I'm like, I don't need to write all this. So I did everything. Let me get my black pen. I took each one of these and I divided it by the 39.2. Each one of these, they're each state's population, divided it by the 39.2, and I got the 33.16 right here, the 61.22, the 43.36, all of these numbers here, okay? Those are their standard quotas. Now, what I have to first do is get rid of these underlined things, is think about Jefferson. So I switched to a red pen. Jefferson goes with the lower quota. So if you have 33.16, he is going to assign 33. For the 61.22, he will go with the lower, which is 61. And then he'll go with 43, 232, 109, and 20. But when I added that up and I did the total here, we're looking for 500. I only had 498. So it needs to be 500. So one of these numbers has to go up. So in order to get your numbers to be bigger, what you're dividing by has to be smaller. And so I was dividing by the 39.2. So what I did was I used 39. You got to get smaller. So I just tried 39. And it actually worked for me. So when I divided by 39, I just did the division and I looked at the numbers and I wrote them down as I went from my calculator. So I didn't write them down on my actual notes. I was like, okay, when we use 39, we're going to get, so over here where this 39.2 is, we're now going to use 39. And when I did that, actually, let me put it in a different color. Instead of red, let's go with the, I guess, dark bluish here. So when I did that, I ended up getting, again, 33 for A, again, 61 for B, still 43 for C. But when I did D, it took me to 233. And then E went up to 110 and F stayed at 20. And that worked because 2 of them went up and that took me to 500. So that's good for Jefferson. And now we're going to do the same thing, but with Adams. And for Adams, Adams always used the upper quota, right? So and you have to go back to the original 39.2, which is this number and 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 this number, and use the upper quota. So the upper quota for A, Adam used 34, and then B was 62, and C was 44, and D was 233, and E was 110, and F was 21. And when you added those up, that was 504. That was way too big. It's only supposed to be 500. So I need these numbers to come down, which means what I'm dividing by has to get bigger. And this is where this one, you know, where it says trial and error. Oh yeah, I did some trial and error on this. I tried 40 and that was too high. But believe it or not, that was too big. So then I tried 39.5 and then I tried 39.4 and it finally worked. I had to try a couple. I wanted to try a whole number. I was like, 39.2, let's just go up to 40. Yeah, and it was too big. It still didn't give me 500. I think it gave me like 503 or something. So this time I'm going to divide by, what did I say? 39.4. Okay. So instead of the 39, I'm going to divide all these by 39.4. And need another color. Let's go with, I guess, I'll go with the yellow. Okay, so, and once again, I did this on my calculator. I didn't write the numbers down. I just looked at the number on my calculator when I did the division with the 39.4, and then I picked the upper quota. And so this time, the upper quota for A was only 33. And then for B, it was 61. And for C, it was also 44. And then for D, it was 231. And then for E, it was 110. And for F, it was 21. Oy vey. And now when I added those up, I got the 500. Okay? All right. What's the next slide say? It says the blank method violates the quota rule because its modified quota for state blank is blank, then it's blank quota. Okay. Oh boy. These are actually drop-down boxes. So in drop-down box 1, these are your choices. It's either the Adams method or the Jefferson's method. And then on drop-down box number 2, you have to pick which state it was, A, B, C, D, E, or F. Of course, they put them in different orders. And then on box 3, you're going to choose either greater than or less than. And on box number 4, you'll choose between lower or upper. And before I do that, I'm going to do a second video.